Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel. Today I thought I'd bring you a reading from Spiritual Unfoldment 3, White Eagle, and it's on page 33. We enfold you in loving understanding, brethren, for we see that sometimes you feel sorry and regretful, feeling that you have failed in some test with which you have been confronted, or when you have tried so hard and anxiously to give loving service. Don't dwell on such thoughts. Banish them from your mind and just resolve to do better next time. And if you do fail or think you have failed, thank God for the elder brethren who wait by your side, who understand and love you and will help you to do better next time. He prays that his love may help you to become a finer instrument. We are all as children. You live on earth and are subject to many physical limitations. We, freed from the bondage of earth, may have a little more experience than you have, but surely there are those above, as far removed from ourselves as the earth from the furthest star. Yet we are all brethren, dear ones. We are all traveling the same path towards an infinite wisdom and love. That we have learnt, we give to you, and what you learn, you pass on to others who may be coming up the path behind you. Only do your best with the material which you have been given. The angels themselves can do no more. We spoke earlier of the soul temple, which each one is building while in incarnation. Now, one of the most powerful tools with which we work is upon ourselves, and upon the soul temple we are all building is thought. Although in days to come man will principally concerned with the unfolding of the higher or spiritual aspects of himself, at present time he is largely concerned with the development of his mind, his mental qualities. In spite of this, so few people take heed as to how they think. They think at random, letting their thoughts tumble and jumble along together until their minds become like rag bags, full of all sorts of queer odds and ends. Only occasionally does one meet a mind beautifully arranged, with all its contents neatly in order and under the control of spirit. Once we begin to understand the power of thought, we can use thoughts to shape our lives to beauty and harmony. Now, we do not advocate self first as an incentive to right thinking. Indeed, to think first of self is anything but right thinking, but rather emphasize how you can help others bless those around you by your right thought and your good thought. This should be the motive behind all your effort to think rightly. Nevertheless, we cannot send forth good, kind, and constructive thought without reaping the harvest of thought seeds as you have sown. So you may be serving a double purpose when you train yourself to think kindly and constructively, for this is the law of karma. Man cannot escape harvesting the result of his thoughts. This is serious consideration, for so few any idea of the effort of their thoughts on others, whether those thoughts are directed personally or to the world at large. We see you sometimes worry about so-called infectious diseases, but what you call germs or an infection by a virus, but have you ever thought of the possibility of an infection by thought forces? For if a person is inclined to shallow thinking or uncontrolled, undisciplined thought, he can prove receptive to negative forces of the astral plane and will likely catch a thought germ which will trouble his etheric body and eventually find its way into his bloodstream, lessening his power of resistance to physical complaints. There is great truth in the teaching of Christian Science, for the continued thought of good of God enfolds a person in the light of Christ as in a protective armor. Those practicing science wisely, truly, will reap the blessing not only for themselves but for others. Thoughts can literally take shape and are visible at the particular level to which they are attuned. For instance, thoughts of devotion ascend to the celestial plane and create beautiful form at that level, while those functioning only on the astral plane would not register. Every thought which goes forth from you is seeking by the law of attraction some corresponding thought vibration in the ether. Sometimes you say, "Oh, I have a little black dog on my back." Perhaps this is so, but it is a form of your own creation, and it is you who have chained it to in position. On the other hand, angry and critical thoughts can suffuse the astral and emotional body with the ugliest of colors, which flash forth, flame-like, pointed and wounding. Let us have none of this thought of thinking, but rather choose for your companions bright, radiant forms of thought, ready to serve both yourself and those around you. Here is a way of service open to all. When you are in a public place, let us say using public transport, watch and note when someone enters the train or bus looking sad, tired and depressed, or sometimes even a little cross. Sit quietly, sending forth love and peace to that person. Try to imagine the kind thoughts of the Master would send to that poor soul. A well-formed and directed thought of love and kindness and light will find its mark, and you will notice that your neighbor will brighten. You will have helped him so that his troubles will start to recede, and he will perhaps even take on what you call a new lease of life from that moment. There are struggling human souls, many like yourselves, earnestly endeavoring to overcome inner weaknesses which in their own souls they acknowledge. You cannot see or know the inner struggles of another, nor the difficulties and weaknesses which bind him, and sometimes make him act in a way you do not understand. But you are now learning, not only from our words, but from the promptings of your teacher, can do so much to help others by your kindly thoughts, by seeing the Christ within them. Think of your neighbor as being a child of God, as you are yourself, with the same problems that you suffer, the same weaknesses, and the same aspirations. Where this or that man stands, only God knows. Nevertheless, all of you are the same in spirit, and all experience the same struggles and problems and needs as yourself. I'm going to end this video. Just remember to let's watch our thoughts today and make sure that we all send out productive, helpful, loving thoughts and not anything destructive. We need to try our utmost to keep to that. God bless. Have an awesome day. Going to view here to stop this.